Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I will be creating a video in which I want to talk about how should a defense aspirant prepare for the current affairs. So sorry for missing in action, because the thing is, sometimes I worry too much about how I am looking and how's the aesthetics for the video, because I feel it is important to take care of the aesthetics, but then I realized if I keep on doing this, I will not be able to make a video anytime sooner, because it is little difficult to take care of the aesthetics all the time. So here I am, and let's not waste time. So I'm just going to quickly make a video which is of 10 minutes, in which I'm going to teach you how to study current affairs, because every defense aspirant knows it's important, but the real question is, are you reading it right way, or are you just scrolling through the headlines, memorizing the dates, and then forgetting everything during your SSB and UPSC? So today I'm going to show you the exact way to study current affairs so that you remember it for a longer time, and you can connect it well with your SSB preparation, and most importantly, develop your own point of view instead of repeating what media is trying to tell you. So I know nowadays news channels and media is quite confusing, and a lot of you keeps on asking me what are the best sources to study. Yes, I will be mentioning few of them which I really trust in my description. So in case you want to have some trusted sources, you can try that out, and let's move forward. Okay, so let's be very clear that current affairs are not about mugging up the dates. The assessors in SSB do not care about what's the exact number of GDP. Do you exactly know it or not? What was the exact GDP in last quarter? What they are looking is, do you understand the issue? Can you explain it simply? And do you have a balanced, logical point of view? So remember, current affairs are about your awareness analysis, not your memory testing, that how much can you remember. That happens in your history examination. I'm telling you because I was a history student. Okay, so if you are preparing for your lecture, DD and interview, your current affairs knowledge is your mirror. It will reflect your thinking process, and that's what make you stand out as a future officer. So you have to choose the right resources, as I mentioned, and that is the first mistake most of the aspirants are making, that they are relying on WhatsApp forwards, random YouTube channels, and sensational news anchors. So that is something which is filling your head with a lot of bias. So remember this, that if you will have a lot of wrong information in your head, you are going to process that only, and that is what you're going to speak at the end in the interview, or maybe in your lecturate and in the GD. So first of all, let's talk about what are the resources which you can trust, and what are the resources which I really trust, and how do I go about it. So first of all, newspaper. Okay, my favorite is The Hindu. So it's been really long that I have been reading The Hindu. The editorial sections are on point, and it helps you to develop a vocab as well, because you have quite good vocabulary which is being used in the newspaper, The Hindu. So try this newspaper. Except more than this, we have our defense and international affairs. The source is IDSA website, PIB, Rajya Sabha, TV debates, and there is something called ORF reports. Okay, so these are the things which I generally go and find out if there is something which I want to check, and they are the most trusted sources. Next, coming on to the monthly compilations. So there are magazines like Competition Success Review. So I remember I started reading Competition Success Review in my school libraries. That is where I saw that magazine, and I found this so useful. They have like good compilation of all the current affairs topics which is happening. So that is one thing, and I really like this Drishti IAS website, on which you can find a lot of compilation of all the important current events which are happening. So that is a free source, so why not to go and make most of it. So go ahead, and that's it. not 10 sources, not 20 sources. You just need 2 to 3 reliable ones. That gives you the fact, not the masala. Second step to prepare your current affairs is how to read smartly. So now comes the real question, the technique. Do not read current affairs like a school textbook, okay? Read it like an officer. So I'll tell you a simple 3-step formula. And what is that? First, what is the background of the issue? Example, India-China border. You should know about 1962 war, the Galwan clashes, and any treaty which has been signed between India and China. Next, the second part is the impact. How does it affect India, the economy, defense, foreign policy, and the common people? And the third part is the future or the way forward. So, what can be done and what is the future of this topic? So, this is where your officer-like opinion should be visible, and this is where you should be using your own mind and you should be forming an opinion based on what you have read from your sources. So, I think this is how I divide it, and sometimes I call it past, present, and the future also of the topic. So, whichever way you want it, you can make it, and that's all about how to study it. Okay, so the next thing you should remember is when you speak in SSB, you are not just throwing facts. So, you are connecting the dots like a leader, and you have to remember that. Okay, so step number 3 is your memory tricks. So many aspirants tell me that, ma'am, I read current affairs but I forget them. This is because you are only reading, you are not processing. So let me tell you few memory tricks which will help you in processing the current affairs. First is your note making. 3 lines per issue. Okay, only 3 lines. Make it crisp, keep it short, because if you keep it very lengthy, then you will not feel like going back to it. So in a page, divide the page into 4 or 6 boxes and make small keywords for every topic. Do not copy whatever is written in the newspaper. Summarize it in your own words. It can be simple English as well. Second, explain that issue to your friend, sibling, or even in the mirror. So this is called teach back technique. So you go ahead and you teach it back to someone so that you know that you are able to express yourself well, confidently and clearly. Third thing is your weekly revision. This is something which you have to do. You cannot skip this point. If you think that you are going to do it without revisions, no, nobody is a Kalidas, and we all need revisions, okay? So I'll tell you this with an example. So when I teach phonic sounds to my children, it's not that I teach them only once and then they are good to go. No, I have to do it every single day. And that is how they will start reading at their own when they are 8 or 9 or maybe 7. So you have to put in hard work. So every Sunday you have to revise the notes for the week, and remember, your brain will remember it, understand it, and it will only remember it when you will repeat. So focus on clarity, revision, not cramming up. Fourth step is avoid being biased and build your own POV, point of view. So now that the most important part is how to avoid media bias, how to avoid any kind of bias which you go through. So media today often shouts opinions louder than the facts, and as a future officer, you cannot be carried away by this. So follow the simple rule, collects fact from 2-3 different sources. Okay, compare what is common in all the sources and what is a fact, which is a correct one. Okay, what differs in your opinion? So decide and form your one view based on the logic and not emotion. Example, on India-China relations, one channel may say India is weak, another may say India is strong. Don't copy either. Look at the facts. Disengagement talks, infrastructure building, strategic partnerships, and then decide logically where India stands. This is how you will sound confident, balanced, and officer-like in SSB. Now, step 5. What should be your daily routine for your current affairs? So, here's the action plan you can follow from tomorrow itself. Okay, so 30 minutes. Read one newspaper. This is non-negotiable. You have to do it every single day. 15 minutes you have to watch Rajya Sabha TV or IDSA talk. 15 minutes you have to make your own notes in your own words, in your own language. On the weekend, you have to revise and connect it with your leadership responsibility and your awareness. And just 1 hour daily, but if you do it consistently for 6 months, you will have strong awareness and opinions, and you will not fear any current affair question. Now let me tell you that stop being information collectors and start being information leaders. Do not just know what happened, understand why it happened and what can be done. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you an officer, having an opinion about things. If this really helped you in any way, subscribe now and share this with your fellow aspirant friends, because together we are not just preparing for SSB, we are preparing for life. Jai Hind, see you in the next video.